Hooker's blades.
Hey everybody, back again, and today we are making some coil spring into some tools for the lathe. If you guys have seen the most recent videos, you would have seen that lathe knocking around in the back. I've acquired a few more tools and I'll get to showing you guys that in the next video. In the next video we're actually going to be making an old school wood-handled screwdriver, so I think that'll be pretty cool for you guys. But today we're taking some coil spring, throwing it in the fire, and making some lathe tools so I can actually tool the handle and make a nice cylindrical handle. I'm going to be using these moving forward for a lot of different projects, so I figured I'd pound them out of some decent metal, get them ground and heat treated tonight, and then tomorrow we're making a screwdriver, and that'll be the next video. So as you can see here, it actually shows us the little tool heads that we're going to need for using this lathe, and I've already got my round. So we've already got the round covered here. Nice little radius, all that jazz. This also would work as a gouge, I guess, but a gouge seems to have a little more of aggressive round angle, so we might make one of those. But what we're going to be making today, for the most part, is this guy, and this guy. The spear point, the skew chisel, and the parting tool.
Let's light the forge up and get everything started with a simple piece of coil spring. First things first, we need to uncoil this and start straightening it out so we can cut it into a few different pieces.
Pack up the things and head out again into somewhere. Reach the spot where your fortune lies, just to find it fits.
Now that we've got all three pieces cut, we can stick them back in the forge and start shaping the heads or the faces or whatever the working end of the chisel slash lathe tools are. So I'm using that cheek on my anvil next to the hardy there to make sure that I'm measuring these out so all the heads come out roughly the same length. I'm going to be working all three of these back to back in the fire, so as one's being worked, the other two are heating up, so I can just keep working through the whole process. Since they're all going to have different face shapes, it's going to be very important that I make sure I don't accidentally screw one of them up trying to make it into the wrong shape. This is where practice is key if you plan on making multiple different objects in the forge at the same time. So now that the faces are done for the most part, we can start working on the shanks of these tools. We're just going to draw these down into a square and get a little bit of extra length because we're going to be forging some horse heads on the bottom, so we have a little grippy spot for the palm of the hand. And we're also going to twist the shank on these differently on each one for aesthetic purposes.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street. Gonna be a big man someday. Got blood on your face, you big disgrace. Kicking your can all over the place. Sing it, we will rock you. We will rock you. Buddy, you're a young man, poor man, shouting in the streets. Gonna be a big man someday. You got blood on your face, big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place. Sing it, we will rock you.
So now we're just going to use the corners of the anvil to go ahead and start shaping those horse heads. Then we're going to flatten them out and bend them over. Now that's all finished up, we can use our punch and our chisel in order to put some facial features on one side of this horse head just to define it a little bit, and that way it looks a little bit better. Now we're just going to go ahead and give each one of these tools a twist all the way through the shank. Like I said before, we're going to do different twists rates for each one, so each one's going to look slightly different in terms of the finished handles. I did this just because I wanted, each one to be a little unique in its own way, and a twist is one of the easiest ways to do that.
So we've got our rough forging done. I've done different twists on these guys. They all have a little derpy horse head here. I don't know how you're going to be able to see that with the light that we have here, but we got some derpy little horse heads on all these. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the grinding on the tips of these tools, make sure that these are properly designed and shaped, and then heat treat them, and that'll be the end of the video after they're all heat treated, oiled, and ready to rock and roll. So let's get over to the grinder and cut some of this material down with the grinder to get everything nice and aligned the way we want it. So we've got all three of our tools finished up. We've got our chisel, we've got our broadhead, and we've got our spear. And these are all going to be used on that lathe. The next video we're going to be making a screwdriver using that lathe to make the handle. So we're going to forge, and then we're going to play with that lathe and see what we can do with these different tools. I have a little piece of wood I'm willing to experiment with for this, since it's going to be for me anyway. But yeah, if you guys like what you see, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, God bless, and stay sharp out there.